Choose Pedigree.
Welcome back to the program. Well, Aquaint Capital Holdings is an Australian ASX-listed global property investment company which focuses primarily on commercial and residential properties across Europe, Asia, and the United States. Well, today the company announced that it will be acquiring a substantial interest in 4 Malaysian assets with a total cost of $61 million. For more, we're being joined by Aquaint Capital CEO Tan Yang Pao, and she's joining us live from our CBD studio. Yang Pao, thanks so much for joining us. Just tell us, has Aquaint Capital always been focused offshore?
Yeah, firstly, a very good afternoon, Nadine, and thanks for having me. Yeah, we are very keen in offshore property, principally because we take advantage of either distressed countries or fast-growing corridor of growth cities, whereby the government are injecting a lot into the cities for growth potential. So that's the reason, one of the reasons why we are interested in offshore property that gives us all these opportunities.
Okay, so then set the scene in Malaysia. What's happening there that has made it so attractive?
Right. This region that we are investing in is called JB in Malaysia. It's the southern part of Malaysia, which is just north of Singapore. It's literally just 20 minutes drive across the causeway. And the reason why the interest is very high right now, because the government has attracted a lot of foreign direct investment into the region in order to spruce out their area and to attract interest from Singapore for two reasons. Because Singapore cost of operation is very high, so people are looking to moving to cheaper area but yet convenient, which is just in JB. And not only that, but also a lot of people, 20% of Singaporeans are in the baby boom who are just retiring during this period. So they are looking for cost-efficient place to retire in. Meanwhile, renting their Singapore property, earning Sing dollars, very strong Sing dollars, and spend in ringgit, which is like half the value of Singapore dollars.
Yeah, is Malaysia quite an easy country to do business in?
For this region, especially, yes. Reason is because the government is pushing so hard. They even set up special entity to expedite whatever approvals that's needed for the foreign companies investing in the country, in this specific area called Iskandar.
So you have a distinct advantage because you are an ASX Australian-based company?
Correct. Simply because we are listed, so it gives us a lot of credibility, as well as the fact that we are listed. They know that if we want to invest, we have a lot of capability as well. So we have been giving a lot of privileges as well.
Okay, so where do you look now? I mean, this is done and dusted for $61 million. What else is in the pipeline?
We are looking at potential turnaround countries, one of which is like Japan. I think the last year the economy has shown major promising turnaround. And actually the other region we are very interested is also Australia.
Okay, so what about Australia? We were just speaking with the CEO of GPT Group, Michael Cameron, who, was talking about the fact that there are bumps in the road in the local economy. How do you see this? Are you focused on residential, or are you focused on commercial or retail in Australia?
Yeah, firstly, I concur with the growth potential here in Australia. Our focus primarily is more commercial, i.e. office or retail mix or combination or either or. The reason is because with the growth in the business sector, there will be stronger demand as well. However, our company strategy has always not been looking at prime area, but slightly on the outskirts so that we can get better value property.
Okay. Where could you sort of peg that down in Australia?
There are actually 3 cities we are looking at. In terms of Sydney and Melbourne, we are looking at the outskirts for better value. But for Brisbane, because Brisbane has been growing quite steadily the last couple of years, so we are looking at prime area for Brisbane.
Okay. Where we look further afield, it says to us that you also invest in the United States. Sort of give us a sense of how you see the property market there going.
Yeah, actually we invested in US about 4 years ago at the peak of the crisis. So we entered at a very, very low value. But right now, after 4 years, as we all know, the economy in US is already has already turned around and starting very strong growth trend. But right now, because of the strong growth trend, people are starting to move in. But just as people are starting to move in, we are already cashing out because of the growth and the turnaround that we enjoy by the low entry that we did.
Okay, and so do you see any further acquisitions in the US, or are you sort of putting that to the side for now, and again, like you said, focusing on these Asian countries and also perhaps Australia as well?
Well, that's not our primary focus right now, because we feel that the turnaround now is really halfway through. So we rather focus on faster growing cities or newly turned around like Australia, Japan, or Malaysia.
Okay, well, that's a pleasure to hear about. Thank you so much for joining us, Yang Po.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.